Pumping gas at Walmart about 2 weeks ago. Lady came up to me and said, "I want to thank you and tell you hello and give you a big thank you. You were able to go across the street and get the clothes that helped me get a job and get back on my feet. And now I'm back where I've got a job." She was driving a car and was back feeling good about herself, but we got her out of the lowest point of her life because we were able to give her both food and clothing, working with our neighbors. It's been before COVID, 5 or 6 years ago, when I first came on the consistory and was with the outreach committee. And being at the dinners, I began to see that the people needed clothes. We started out with jackets and coats, and people were bringing other items, so everything they brought, the people needed. And it's expanded from one room to the whole basement of the church. We service young families, older families, homeless people, the working poor who have housing, but once they buy food and pay the rent, they don't have money to buy clothes. We service this. Every week we have great stories of people. Just today, people left. We had 2 families we serviced. One is a pastor of a church in a neighborhood, and she services the people of her church. She speaks English. Most of her other church speaks Spanish, and the language is a barrier for them, but they come here and she's able to find clothes for the whole church.
No, when he started telling me the story, he started telling me about it. He needed a pair of work shoes, and it finally got routed to us somehow or another, and he was there to pick them up. And I said, "You know what? I saw your shoes while I was inside just a minute ago." I said, "They're there waiting on you." He said, "That's great." He said, "I've been working there for 14 years. And about that time, he started walking, towards the entrance door. And his shoes, the 2 existing shoes he had, were like flip-flops. They were in pieces, they were tatters. And I mean, it's just an example. I mean, this guy's just trying to work.
A family, we had one come in, their child was feeling bullied almost because she was poor. It wasn't actually bullied, but in her mind, you got cheaper clothes, you don't deserve it. She was able to leave with clothes that was able to match the other kids and fit in.
And it bothers me very much that there are so many people that do not have their basic needs met. I'm very grateful for all that I have had, and it's a way of saying thanks.
We've had a church, Tyro Methodist, donated 200 pairs of underwear that we were able to, for men and women. We had another agency just give us a whole box, 2 boxes of items, brand new, of children's underwear, men's underwear, socks.
It was just Jerry and maybe 1 or 2 others that were down here working, and I got to see some of the clients come in that they needed clothes, just like we have other ministries where they just needed food. And I didn't realize there was that much of a need for it. I thought that was handled by some of the other charitable organizations that were out there. I thought, well, why are we in this business? So today we saw 2 families here, adults and young children, babies that needed clothes. So, if that was Jerry's idea or whatever, it was a great idea, and it's being taken advantage of.
And as I say, seeing the people come in and get what they need, that gives me energy when sometimes I'm tired or think I, can't go on right now. That keeps me going.
30 plus years in education and seeing children that needed so many things. And there was nothing at that time like this to refer their families to. There was a family of 5 that had come in a few weeks ago, and there was a boy, 3 little girls, And Mom and Dad, I guess that's 6. That's why I taught English, not math. And everybody had been shopped for except the oldest little girl, and she was only 7. And she had waited so patiently. And she looked up at me and said, "Ma'am, could you help me find a dress? I just want a dress." We found her 3 dresses, a couple of pairs of pants, and multiple tops to go with those pants. That makes my heart happy.
There was a lady a few weeks ago came in. She was from Ohio, from the same part of Ohio that I pastored in back 25 years ago. She was looking for clothes for she and her children. And we set her up. She's here, and I told her all about our church and told her that, you know, if she's looking for a good church, this is the place.
We make a difference in lives. That this makes a difference. And that the people who come here and get clothes need the clothes. You know. Well, God's been good enough to give me a couple of extra days, so I figure I'll give them back to him as best I can.